I spoke briefly about this on flipping the random show. This was pertaining to Young Spray v Tank situation. But in this regard, this is pertaining to Academics v TDE, v T-Rail, v MacWop, v AD, v Punch, or v fucking Ace Boy Pun. So to give you a brief synopsis, you know Academics is more of a Drake guy. Kendrick and Drake had their beef. Academics was riding for fucking Drake. And I guess Academics was, talking a lot of tough talk about going to the GNX concert, the GNX tour, sorry, with Kendrick and SZA. That's obviously going around flipping North America now. And I'm sure they're going to probably do some European dates very soon. And a lot of people were expecting him to pop up at the flipping New Jersey show. He didn't go. They were expecting him to pop up at the flipping show in LA. In Inglewood, he didn't go. Eventually, Academics pops up and goes to the GNX tour at the Detroit stop. So he randomly pops up at the Detroit stop. I don't think he mentioned it because I watch quite a lot of Academic streams. Sometimes obviously passively in the background, but I do watch a lot of his content. And I don't remember him mentioning he was going to go to the tour stop at Detroit. I swear to God I didn't mention him. I don't remember him mentioning it. So he doesn't mention it. He pops up at the Detroit show, but obviously it's Academics. So he's still talking his shit while he's at the show. He's on his Instagram live. His Instagram story. He's posting some videos of himself. And if I'm not mistaken, judging by what I saw of him on Instagram stories or clips anyway, he was in a suite. So obviously this GNX tour with Kendrick and SZA is an arena tour. So he was in, whatever arena it was in Detroit, Academics had a suite. The kind of suites where you go into that kind of looks over like a balcony and you get great views and shit. And it's got its own door. So I guess Academics thought he was safe because he wasn't really amongst the crowd. He wasn't in the stands. He wasn't on the ground floor. He was actually in a suite. So he thought he was sweet. No pun intended. But I guess he wasn't. And according to the stories out there, Dave Free and some other guy rocked up to Academics' suite and allegedly opened the door because I guess they have the master key or the master card for all the doors in that arena because it's a GNX tour and, those are guys that are involved in PG Lang and shit. So they opened the door and basically pressed Academics when they walked in immediately. Like, what time are you on? Da-da-da-da. Academics obviously folded as he usually does. But the mad thing about this story is that no one would have known this story unless Academics mentioned it first. So after that show happened, Academics got on his stream and started talking about how the interaction went. And if you watch a lot of Academics content, he has these tales when he lies. So he was immediately talking about narratives. The narrative. So let me just set this straight. The narrative. It's almost like this. It kind of reminded me the same way he was speaking when that whole situation went down with that girl. Remember that girl that got smashed by his guys in the pool, right? She ran a train on and shit, right? When he started mentioning that story, he was sounding, he kind of was very insistent on making sure he set the narrative straight, which is strange because surely if you're telling the truth, just tell the truth, innit? Of what happened. You don't need to set a narrative. You don't need to fucking run a play. Just say what happened, the truth. But obviously if you're lying, you're going to use the narrative fucking excuse. So he gets on stream and he makes it seem like they had like a very cordial, friendly exchange, almost like banterish. That's what he made it seem like. Or he made it sound like, Academics. Day 3 was there. I told him about myself and this and that and this. I don't know. He didn't make it seem like he got pressed. But then, of course, when everybody heard this, or the people on the West Coast, primarily MacWop and T-Rail, when they heard what Academics said about the interaction, they were like, nah. That's not what happened. So they set the record straight. So I'm going to play you a clip now of T-Rail on his show, Back on Fig, alongside, I forgot a flipping name again, apologies, Hurricane whatever, and Smack. And he kind of talks about what actually went down. So this is actually what went down, closer to the truth than what Academics said. And it's kind of sad, I'm not going to lie, because Academics, by the sounds of it, got punked out. But hey, what can you do?
Clip. Because we didn't clip this yesterday when we was talking about it, homie. A reaction of what was going on right now. And I know my boy Academics got pressed yesterday. Well, not yesterday, a couple days ago at the Detroit show. And he thought it was just a friendly talk. Well, that's why this is what he's saying to us. He thought it was just a cool little exchange.
Right.
But You got marked out. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Now you from TDE, boy. That's what Max said.
Yeah, for real.
You from TDE now, boy. Now go sit your ass down right here. Sit down and get up when we tell you to. You feel me? You got marked out, boy. Coming over here talking about some. He said, because we can get at it. No, boy. We can get down. That's what we could do.
Yeah.
We could get down. You trying to get down? Is it personal?
Do you think maybe Akademiks doesn't understand what we can get down means? Does maybe Akademiks interpret that interaction as not being pressed because he doesn't understand what we can get down means? Like, do you want to get down? Maybe he thought it was a dance. Maybe he thought it was it was a form of a burpee. Maybe he thought it was a press up technique. Maybe he thought it was a new stretch or something. Right? Maybe he thought it was a TikTok dance. Maybe he actually didn't know what that phrase meant. That's why he thought he didn't get pressed.
For you, it's personal. For me,
Yeah.
it's personal for you. We
Turn
finna
it
get
down.
down. No, it's just content, man. It's content. That's where I'm leaving it at. I'm not coming here to do anything for Drake.
Oh, nasty work. Now, we have to take this over the pinch of salt because T-Row is obviously loyal to TDE and that lot. But if this is true, and Akademiks said what he said, God damn it, Akademiks, man. God damn it, man. It's just content for me. Bro, the way Akademiks has been barking, like, personally for me, I'm not going to lie, I didn't enjoy the beef between Kendrick and Drake, mostly because of the fans. The fans didn't make it enjoyable because it went from a very competitive rap battle, maybe not in terms of actually how it went down, but in terms of, you know, following it, to just stands beefing with each other. Two groups of stands, Drake stands, Kendrick stands, just going at it. And it got really toxic. It got really weird. It got, you know what I mean? It wasn't fun anymore. That's why I kind of backed. I was like, you know, I'm not into this. But the people that were into it, like Akademiks, were talking a big game. We're talking really tough about the whole situation. So if that's true, or if that's how you feel, then stand on it, innit? So if somebody presses you about Drake in terms of what happened with Kendrick, I'm sorry, but you've got to walk the walk. You know what I mean? You've got to walk the walk. It sounds crazy to get into a scrap because of Drake or for Drake or in his honor or for his honor. But surely if you're barking on stream the way Akademiks was, that's the least you can do, isn't it? Because that would kind of match how you were talking on stream. What doesn't match how you're talking on stream is, oh, it's just content. It didn't sound like content when I was watching you, mate. It didn't sound like content at all. It sounded like you meant that shit.
I believe at that moment when he said that, do you really think I'm here to slide for Drake? At that moment, I'm thinking, Drake ain't never messing with dude again, man. Drake ain't never messing with dude again. It's over with, bro. You got.
Maybe now maybe now we know why Drake doesn't really fuck with Akademiks. Although Akademiks was one of the biggest hip hop platforms out there, maybe the largest, considering how he's like a solo operation for the most part from his main Instagram channel or page. It's kind of weird that Drake doesn't really give him any love publicly. He's never appeared on a stream of his, blah 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 blah. He kind of talks through him on other people's streams. He doesn't go on his stream. You know, whatever. Maybe he talks to him behind the scenes, but in front of, you know, outwardly, he tries to keep so much of an arm's length distance between each other. But now we probably know why. Maybe in real life, Akademiks can, you know, maybe Drake has seen some things in real life away from the cameras that would make him think, you know what, this guy isn't the guy you should stand behind. You know what I mean? He's a bit loosey-goosey. He's a bit flip-floppy. He's a bit of a, you know what I mean? He's a bit spineless. He's a little bit of a coward. So I'm not gonna about to stand with someone like this because he could get me in trouble, or he could embarrass me out here. So maybe that's why Drake has been purposely arm's length distance with him.
I press. It's okay. Now you should be riding for TDE for the rest of your life, man. That's all we just trying to tell you, bro. He went to the but I think he really went to that show to be like, you know what? I'm at this show and I made it out this show. And I'm untouchable. Nobody could touch me.
Well, you can't say that.
But I don't think he did. I think Academics didn't think that these guys were going to expose what happened. I think he thought if he spoke about the interaction he had with Day 3 in a somewhat respectable, chill, non-turn up manner. Because imagine as well, when Kendrick, when Academics did come on stream and speak about the whole situation, he wasn't very bombastic as he usually is. He was kind of measured and calm about it, almost complimentary. So that kind of rang my alarm bells, because usually Academics, if he's on some like big acting, especially after that kind of interaction, he's gonna come back on stream and start barking extra hard. But he wasn't. He was kind of playing it cool. So maybe he thought if he just goes on a charm offensive, these guys will let the whole thing slide and not say anything. But obviously they didn't, and now it's been exposed that likely Academics kind of turned down the fade from Day 3. My problem with this situation, and something that I've continued saying, is that why are these guys so afraid to fight? Doesn't Academics know if he has one scrap and he doesn't get knocked out in the first minute or something, or he doesn't get dropped or something, and it goes a while and he holds his own, no matter who he fights, whether it's fucking, I don't know, let me throw a random name here, whether he fights Nav, Little Tekka, fucking, I don't know, Kendrick, Day 3, if Academics can defend, or Meek Mill, if Academics can actually get into a physical altercation with somebody, anybody, and just get it out the way, it will actually do a lot for him reputation wise, and it would actually, I think as well, set a precedent and probably make certain people not try and bully him, not try and sun him, not try and mark him out. But when he keeps constantly running away, worming his way, squeaming his way out of confrontations, despite talking kind of crazy on social or on stream, it kind of makes him look away, innit? It kind of makes him look away. And I'm just sat here thinking, like, a lot of these guys are like drug addicts, essentially. A lot of these guys smoke weed every day. They drink lean, they whatever. They don't look at the exercise at all. They just sit at home ordering DoorDash. So it's like, what is he so afraid of? Most of the guys that Academics has beef with don't even look like they can fight anyway. So why doesn't he just get down with these guys? At least one person, like Day 3 looks like a regular dude. Maybe he's tall, big, I don't know. Day 3 doesn't look that intimidating. And even if he lost against Day 3 and Day 3, I don't know, secretly trains or something, still, he would get a lot of ratings because he actually decided to fight. But Academics is so, by the sounds of it, cowardly that he's refusing to do so. And maybe, to think of it, to be honest, maybe because he's, you know, obviously super in tune with social media, maybe Academics is very conscious of getting into a physical altercation with somebody and then getting slumped and that video recording going viral on social media, because it would. Maybe he's too worried about that. But if I was him, to stop this constant tidal wave of people basically marking you out, talking shit about you, dismissing you, whatever it may be, if I was him, I would want to set pace with, okay, cool, enough's enough. Let's draw a line in the sands. I'm just going to beat up whoever looks at me the wrong way today, I'm just going to beat them up. You know, just go for that, because that would honestly change the narrative around his name. But he's so afraid of getting beaten up, he's so afraid of any kind of physical altercation, that he'd rather do these weird back and forths where he tries to spin a narrative, then gets exposed that the narrative is flipping wrong or incorrect or falsehoods, and now he's having to scramble and rewrite that and calling these guys out, turning it into a big thing. It's like, bro, if you just would have admitted that, hey, yeah, Day 3 did kind of press me and whatever about the situation, I understand how he felt the way he did, you know, for me it's just a content thing, whatever, and then going from there. But he tried to clean up and seem like it wasn't a big deal. Then when he got called out for lying, he then went on the offensive and started calling these guys all manner of names and, you know, putting stuff out there that maybe shouldn't be out there, whatever he was doing. Kind of crazy. But I just wish Academics would just fight somebody. I swear, if he was to fight one person, someone from hip hop who he doesn't like or has a current ongoing back and forth with, I swear it would permanently change how he's kind of looked at. Especially if he doesn't get dropped or knocked out in the first minute. He'll be fine. And he's a big lad anyway. He could probably, you know, defend himself well. Or it'll probably take a lot to kind of put him down anyway. And he'll be perfectly fine. But, you know, he just wants to do what he does now. So, whatever. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do?